like each time I deal, I pay my dues. Affiliated to this paper, I need freedom for my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art. I'm jumping off just an unfamiliar coordinates. Hopped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red is not one trillion. The ism talk the water out your faucet. Look at me flossing, I'm so wavy, I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways. You imitated forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, right. West side, born maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it. Run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Game recognized game. I'm from the Bay, okay. I'm versatile and my slang's different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound. Got a target back on my backside. Take a cat peeling with the cast iron. Better run for it, run before I catch you. Pick it out, ball it, block it. Trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life. Don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing. You do best not to test it. Yeah, you right. Real all in my blood supply. Dig it all up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission, it's a dollar sign. If I say it twice and I meant it right.
My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign. You know co-signer, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission is a dollar sign.
Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It is good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early, all right? Shout out to Rosemary. What's good with it, Rosemary? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen, mod extraordinaire. Make sure you guys do what she say, all right? Appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to my man, Win, Lose, or Rug. Yo, make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Win, Lose, or Rug for being on it with the info. We're going to definitely talk about some of the drops that he put into the Discord. All right, so this is going to be really good. This is a call-in show. All right, shout out to y'all for hitting those goals. Throw them targets in the chat. We got the target in the chat today. And it's orange today. You know why it's orange today? It's orange today because it's Bitcoin Day, baby. Yeah, it's orange today because it's Bitcoin, baby. It's Bitcoin Day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're going to get into it, all right? So, we're going to discuss some things that are in the title, all right? The question is, are you crypto shopping? If you are crypto shopping, throw some money bags in the chat. Second question, which direction are we going in? Will Bitcoin hit $88,000 to $91,000 in the near future, or will Bitcoin hit $110,000 to $150,000 in the near future? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts about why or why not. Also, chart action. We're going to talk about big financial versus us, all right? And to start that off, we're going to piggyback off of what we was talking about in the last stream So if you didn't see the last stream, make sure you guys take a moment and go check out that last stream. All right. How many people have ever heard of a content creator on YouTube called Got Satoshis? If you guys ever heard of this content creator, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, give me a thumbs down. Got Satoshi made a very interesting video. I'm going to let you guys listen to it, and I want to know how you all feel about it, if you agree or if you disagree. All right, let's get it.
What if I told you that while most people are panicking over Bitcoin's recent price dip, the wealthy are quietly buying it up because they know something you don't?
Oh, look, he's starting it off dropping jewels. He got Satoshi's starting it off dropping some jewels. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said, just bought the new Solana L2 Sonic today. Was on a 10% discount. That's what's good. Is that the Solana phone that's got the built-in wallet in it? That's lit.
They know that Bitcoin isn't staying under $100,000 for long. This dip is temporary, and the real opportunities to build generational wealth is staring you in the face. Are you ready to act before it's too late? This video is for educational purpose only. It is not intended for financial or investment advice. Always do your own research, guy. Welcome back, my friend. Today, we're diving into the real reasons behind Bitcoin's recent market crash. Reason most people don't understand. Yes, the price has taken a hit, but that's only half of the story. Behind the scenes, something extraordinary is happening. While retail investors are panicking, sell, institution, corporation, and high net worth individuals are quietly buying up as much Bitcoin as they can. And why? Because they know Bitcoin isn't staying under $100,000 for much longer. In fact, they're preparing for a future where Bitcoin trades in the millions. Now, by the end of this video, you'll understand what's causing this crash, why it's temporary.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. So far, what he said, do you all agree with what he said? If you guys agree with what he said so far, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down. If you ask me, in my opinion, he's saying exactly what I was saying, but just phrasing it in a different way, okay? The graph that we look at, the graphs that we look at, the charts that we look at, these are two-dimensional representations of a multi-dimensional space. As a result, all variables and influence are not readily available for us to view as we are looking at these things, trying to navigate our way through these prices and how to purchase. So you have to pay attention to trends. You have to pay attention to the news. You have to pay attention to a lot of outside factors and patterns and consider those before you make your decisions. Now, remember I had said earlier, if Bitcoin is looked at as a quote unquote hedge against inflation, why would negative inflation news cause a sell-off? Think about that. Shout out to Crew Reality. What's good with it, bro? Think about that. Let's just consider that.
And how you can position yourself to benefit while others are left behind. Let's start with what's driving this market dip. The recent U.S. economic data shows that jobs opening are at the highest levels.
Shout out to Crew Reality. Crew Reality said, "I'm trying to learn." Well, you learning? Everybody drop the clipboards in the chat for Crew Reality. Give them a pencil and some paper.
Since mid-2024. While this may sound like good news, it's created a dilemma for the Federal Reserve. A strong economy can lead to inflation spiraling out of control. So the Fed is signaling that interest rates cuts may be.
Shout out to my man John Guillory. What's good with it, bro? John Guillory said, "What's good, Rob and my fellow crypto millionaires? I see you watching my boy, the Bitcoin evangelist." This dude name right here is Got Satoshis. I like that name. Back in the day, when I used to stream on the other app, I had a whole bunch of accounts, you know what I'm saying? Because they would be knocking your accounts down and stuff like that over there. But I had this one account, it was called 50 Bits. 50 Bits.
Delayed or less frequent than anticipated. Higher interest rates and rising bond yield have made traditional investments more attractive. Pulling capital.
All right, bet. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said I'm gonna call in on my lunch. I'm on the fiat grind currently. Yo, throw some money bags in the chat. He on that paper chase, looking for the funds.
away from speculative assets like Bitcoin. But that's not all. Market manipulations is also at play. Big players.
Now, see, he says he believes that market manipulation is also at play. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If you're looking at a chart and you're paying attention to an asset and you're thinking about its movements and how things are going, what would lead someone to the assumption that market manipulation is taking place? What would cause that sentiment? What would cause that feeling? Let me know what you guys think.
Or using fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but to shake out weaker hands. This allowed them to accumulate Bitcoins at a discount while the masses panic. Much of this buying is happening over the counter, keeping it out of the public eyes and preventing price increases.
So, based on what he just said, if you're paying attention to the prices, if you're paying attention to the charts, if you're paying attention to the graphs, what should this tell you? That's my question for you guys. Shout out to Carlton. Shout out to Jerry Bedford. What's good with y'all? Welcome to the stream. If y'all haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
During the accumulation phase, then there's the geopolitical factor. Countries like China hold significant Bitcoin reserves, and concerns are mounting that they could sell portions of their holdings to encounter U.S. economic policies or create instability in the market. While this adds to short-term uncertainty, the long-term demands for Bitcoins remain strong. Now, let's address the elephants in the room, how Trump's administration is creating both excitement and uncertainty in the market. Trump's upcoming presidency has sparked a major discussion about crypto. On one hand, he expressed strong pro-crypto sentiments.
Now, see, I want you guys to pay very close attention. Do you see how Got Satoshi said that Trump's presidency is highly affecting the cryptocurrency space? Again, this is what I'm saying about how unfair it was that discussions about this were widely left out of the discourse when it comes to, quote unquote, I'll just put it like this, local news. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Posing policies that could make the U.S. one of the most Bitcoin-friendly nations in the world. This includes appointing a pro-crypto cabinet with figures like Paul Atkins, who expected to lead the SEC, and Scott, his Treasury Secretary. Atkins is known for his balanced approach to innovation, and Scott has been praised for supporting digital assets. Trump has also brought in PayPal's executive and a crypto entrepreneur to ensure his administration is equipped to handle the rapidly evolving digital economy. But with great ambitions comes uncertainty. For example, Trump's plans to create a strategic Bitcoin reserves, SBR, a proposal is to accumulate 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years.
Now, again, they're talking about accumulating 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Now, here's my question. If everybody continues buying at the pace that everybody's buying at, where are these Bitcoin coming from that the United States is going to get over the next 5 years? Let me ask you guys this question. How many people know off the top of their head how many Bitcoin there are remaining to be printed? If you know how many Bitcoin there are remaining to be printed, put the number in the chat.
Raises questions. While it could legitimize Bitcoin as a national asset, it's unclear how Congress will react to such a bold move. Critic argues that Bitcoin's volatilities could make it unsuitable for a reserve, and any mismanagement could impact the broader market. Additionally, Trump's ongoing trade tensions with China could create further instability. If China were to sell off its Bitcoin reserve in retaliation, it could temporarily crash the market. Trump's plans to impose higher tariffs and restrict Chinese access.
Shout out to Rosemary. Rosemary said 500 million. There's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. And if I'm not mistaken, 19 million are already in circulation. And some of those 19 million are lost. So what that means is that, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen. There's only 1 million left. So the United States thinks that it's going to get 100% of what's left. Let me ask you guys this. What is the likelihood of that happening? Yeah, shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Facts, just under 2 million. What's the likelihood of the United States getting 1 million Bitcoin? What's the likelihood of anybody who doesn't already have a substantial stash of Bitcoin getting 1 million Bitcoin? Now, I don't know if you guys heard in my earlier stream, I talked about some of the changes that they made on crypto.com. And I don't know if anybody got a chance to check or not, but one of the things that they did on crypto.com is in the lockup section, they've significantly reduced the tier 1 interest rate, which is the highest interest rate that you can get on crypto that you have locked up. And if you ask me, I believe that they decreased it a factor of 5 in order to prepare for what they believe may be an average of 5x return across all tokens as a result of alt season and a result of mass crypto adoption. This is just an assumption. This is just a hypothesis. It is not anything based in fact. It is just what I believe. All right. So I don't know why else they would have done that. I think that that might be a reason. And then another thing that they've done is they focused most of the interest. They focused most of the interest rewards into the airdrop arena, and they've taken it for the most part away from what was going on in the lockup. And again, I believe that is in anticipation so that they don't have to pay interest on huge lockups that are in lockup already that are going to increase 5, 10, 20x later on this year. So I don't know if that's true or not. It's just what I'm assuming. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to my man Lloyd Sky 9. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Win, Lose, or Rug said, I think BlackRock and MicroStrategy have a combined 1 million Bitcoin. Yeah, I agree. No, you all good. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's all good. You got to be brave. Even if you don't know something, you know what I'm saying? Say something. It's a friendly environment over here. Nobody going to go in on you. You know what I'm saying?
To you as technologies are already raising concerns about how these geopolitical moves might impact Bitcoins and the broader crypto ecosystem. And finally, the proposed shift of crypto oversight from the SECs to the CFTC introduced a transitional period of uncertainty. Now, while this is seen as a positive move for the long term, the markets remains cautious as it waits for the clarities on how these regulatory changes will unfold. While the masses panic, the wealthy seize opportunities. They know that Bitcoin's fundamentals haven't changed. Its scarcity is capped at 21 million coins, remains intact. Over 19 million coins have already been mined. And with adoption growing, the supply is dwindling faster than ever. The wealthy also understand that volatility is part of the game. Price dips like these are nothing more than a chance to buy Bitcoins at a discount. They know that once the markets rebound.
Hey, facts. Look, that's the bro. Listen, that's the goal, bro. Look, let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, in that race to December 31st. How many of you all have a plan that as soon as you hit your first 100K, as you hit 100K, you're going to flip that 100K into Bitcoin? If you guys do have that plan, throw the rocket in the chat. If you guys don't, then let me know. All right.
Those who accumulated during the crash will reap the rewards. This is why big players are quietly buying Bitcoins over the counter. They don't want to push the price up while they are still accumulating. But make no mistake, this window won't last forever. Bitcoin is still in its early stages of adoption. Fewer than 5% of the global population own any Bitcoins. Yet adoption is accelerating every day. Analysts are predicting that Bitcoin could reach at least $250,000 to $1 million by the end of this year alone. These numbers might sound ambitious, but remember, similar projections were once dismissed when Bitcoin was at $1,000, $10,000, or even $50,000. Here's what makes Bitcoin truly revolutionary. It is decentralized. No government, institutions, or individuals can control it, and no one can print more of it. Yes, they can manipulate the price in the short term, and yes, they can spread fears and doubt to shake your confidence. But here's the most important fact: no one can create more Bitcoin. That single truth makes Bitcoins the ultimate tools for building generational wealth. Keep this in mind, and you will understand why the wealthy are betting so heavily on Bitcoin future.
So see again, and he's talking about generational wealth in regards to this. And most people that talk about crypto are talking about it in terms of generational wealth. So you got to ask yourself the question, if generational wealth is something that's needed, something that's a necessity, something that we have a huge deficiency in, why is it treated as if it's taboo? Think about that.
Guys, the solution is very simple. Don't panic. Crashes like this are temporary, and Bitcoin has always, let me repeat that, always rebound stronger. Start accumulating Bitcoin consistently, even if it's just small amounts. This approach called dollar cost averaging.
So see what he's doing right here is he's weakening the talking point. Well, quote unquote, I can't afford it. Now, here's my question. How can people not afford, quote unquote, small amounts? Like, you got to ask yourself these questions.
Or betting so heavily on Bitcoin future. Guys, the solution is very simple. Don't panic. Crashes like this are temporary, and Bitcoin has always, let me repeat that, always rebound stronger. Start accumulating Bitcoin consistently, even if it's just small amounts. This approach called dollar cost averaging allows you to build wealth over time without worrying about short-term.
Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said he sound like facts.
Market fluctuations. Most importantly, secure your holdings. Use trusted cold storage device like a ledger or a treasury to protect your Bitcoins from hacks and theft. The windows of opportunities is closing fast. While others panic and sell, the wealthy are quietly securing their financial future. Bitcoin won't stay.
The wealthy are quietly securing their financial future. Some people aren't wealthy, and those people that aren't wealthy are also securing their financial future. And these are all choices, right? People, shout out to Kanye West. People are actively making a choice to not only be poor, but to drive themselves further into debt. They're making the choice. So at this point, when people complain about money, when people complain about the economy, when people complain about anything financial, all of those talking points are dead. They're done. The casket is closed on them. There's a nail in it. They're not getting out ever again. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. People also, how many people remember the dot-com boom? People missed out on the dot-com boom for the exact same reason. Do you guys ever hear anybody talking about quote unquote wealth that was built during the dot-com boom? How come more people didn't get rich during the dot-com boom? Everybody was on the internet. Everybody's on the internet now. Everybody used to deal with Yahoo and Netscape Navigator and all of those different internet companies, but nobody invested in them. Why? You guys remember when people were going around saying that Y2K was the end of the world? Like, what's wrong with people? People literally thought that some kind of perceived error in writing dates in a computer would cause the end of the world. This is where people were at, and they believed it. Again, like it's some stuff like shout out to Carlton, just strange, you know what I'm saying? Just strange.
Dollar cost averaging allows you to build wealth over time without worrying about short-term market fluctuations. Most importantly, secure your holdings. Use trusted cold storage device like a ledger or a treasury to protect your Bitcoins from hacks and theft. The windows of opportunities is closing.
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, we missed out on way too many booms. I would agree. Now, here goes my question. This is what people got to ask themselves. Why did people miss out on these booms? I'm going to tell you exactly why people missed out on these booms. People are so misguided and lost and literally have no idea how to survive and do anything on their own that they believe that the appropriate way to deal with politics in a situation here in the United States is to simply just go off about it 24/7. Instead of paying attention to the cards that's laid out on the table, picking the card up, playing the card with your deck, people just point at the dealer and talk crazy as if the dealer cares. The dealer ain't even part of the game. But this is how you know that people don't, they don't be where they say they be at, and they don't do what they say they do. They don't play spades. They don't play tongue. They don't play rummy. They don't play poker. They don't play none of these games. They don't even play craps or dominoes. You know what I'm saying? They don't even play Uno for that matter, right? The reason people miss out on these booms is because they busy having a roasting contest about the politicians that they don't like. They busy making jokes about the politicians they don't like. They're not busy trying to scan the environment to try to see opportunities that they could weaponize to create weapons and sustainable financial vehicles in order to be able to perpetuate themselves to the next level. I've been saying for a long time, I don't know why everybody thinks that they're an amateur comedian, but no one's ever going to roast their way to prosperity. And some people might, if you're a comedian, right? But even good comedians don't end up roasting their way to prosperity. So if you're not a comedian, you know what I'm saying? You're definitely not roasting your way to prosperity. But one of the main reasons is because generation after 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 generation of people, all they do is just point, talk crazy, make fun of people, instead of actually paying attention to what's being done, riding the wave and taking advantage of it. Ern is asking to call in. It's up to y'all if y'all want him to call in. He probably just going to call in and turn his camera on and show something to get the stream shut down or start making fun of everybody, or, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want that, you know what I'm saying? He calls everybody dumb, but the instructions on how to call in are right in the chat. So you can call in. But I don't really know if everybody contributed to the show for you to come in and wreck the show. So, I mean, if y'all want to see that, you know what I'm saying, that's on y'all. If not, it's also on y'all. Mods got the trigger tonight. You know what I'm saying? You guys make the decision, all right? So, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why people got left out of that kind of stuff. There was, at that time, information was free-flowing. The internet was available. America Online, Prodigy.com, AT&T, all these new internet companies, AOL, everybody had access to information, and people just chose not to pay attention to it. Shout out to my man, Lloyd Sky 9. We 1 out of 5, man. That's what's good. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my man, Lloyd Sky 9. Lloyd Sky 9 said, let's get it cracking. Money to be made. Big facts. Now, Ern going to call me a scammer simply because I got a super chat from my man, Lloyd Sky 9. You know what I'm saying? So type in #scammer in the chat. We're going to talk for Ern tonight. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Lloyd Sky 9 some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some dogs, chats, rockets in the chat for Lloyd Sky 9 for funding the organization and buying that late night dinner, early morning breakfast.
In Springfield, they're eating.
Push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the. Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. the cat.
Fuck that cat.
Definitely appreciate it, bro. Definitely appreciate it. We only need 4 more. That's what's good. Shout out to everybody. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. It's just so weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you guys think it's weird? Why, if you don't like the channel, if you don't like the people in the comment section, if you don't like the live streamer, why do you keep coming around? We don't call you here. We don't make videos about you. We don't talk about you until you decide to show up and just want to be the center of attention. So we put the bullseye right in the middle of your eye socket. I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I'm going to tell you, Earn, and anybody else on YouTube, I'm never going to stop YouTubing because you have a personal problem with me. If you have a personal problem with me, you need to end me so that I don't stream or offend your life anymore. That is the only way you are ever going to be able to get me to stop doing anything that I do. That should be very clear to understand. So showing up in a stream is not going to do anything. You might want to catch me when I'm walking my dog one day, if you can. Okay? It's not that difficult. I don't seek you out. I don't look for you. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what you're thinking about. I don't care what side of the pavement you're on top of it or below it. I don't care about any of that. You're weird. Get a life. My channel gets no views. Remember, you said that? Gets views from you, though. I don't know why. You said you like crypto. You said we don't talk about crypto here. Make some crypto content. It's weird, man. This is weird. What's wrong with these people on YouTube, y'all? They weird. You know what I'm saying? You need like a YouTube restraining order. Shout out to Manosphere Hall of Fame. What's good with it, bro? We're actually going to talk about fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We're going to actually talk about that.
Too fast. While others panic and sell, the wealthy are quietly securing their financial future. Bitcoin won't stay under $100,000 for long. It's headed to $250,000, $1 million, and beyond. The question is, will you take action now, or will you look back years from now wishing you had?
Now, let me ask you guys this question. What do you think that the majority of people are going to do? You guys think that the majority of people are going to take action, or do you think that the majority of people are going to just sit there idle and then years later look back and everybody's going to have a I could have Bitcoin story? What do you guys think?
Now, if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insight like this. And remember, hold tight and stack it right.
He said, hold tight and stack it right. Hold tight and stack right. Now, we talked about this, right? And we actually looked at another video that talked about this. Bitcoin's arm race. Nations fight for digital supremacy. He said the nations is fighting for digital supremacy. Shout out to Hina. Hina says they will years later look back. Yeah, I agree. If you guys agree with Hina, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Let's just take a look at this, right? Because this is something that I was talking about, and I actually watched this video. I thought his perspective was pretty interesting because the thing is that depending on who you listen to, right? Most people, for the most part, are consistently saying the same thing. You're not really getting a lot of difference in what people are saying. For the most part, everybody's pretty consistent with the messaging. Let's check this out.
Imagine a war where Bitcoin isn't just an investment. It's the bloodline of entire nations. What if the United States, China, and other global superpowers have been secretly buying Bitcoin all along? Would you be ready for the domino effect that could skyrocket Bitcoins to $1 million or even $100 million? Let's break this down. The conversations around Bitcoins has reached a boiling point. BlackRock's ETF, state-level reserves, and whisper of national governments quietly stockpiling Bitcoin are no longer theories. They are reality unfolding before our eyes. But here's the twist. No one wants to say it out loud just yet. It's like everyone waiting for a public announcement. Like the politicians or a CEO standing at the podium declaring, we're buying Bitcoin. But in reality, The actions are always happening behind the scenes. Countries, states, and even Fortune 500 companies are likely positioning themselves in ways we only speculated about. Let me rewind a bit. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF now manage more assets than all 50 plus European ETFs combined. Isn't just a financial milestone, it's a signal. Institutions
Yeah,
follow leaders.
facts. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said they have 100% been buying all along, most likely through some sort of legal proxy. Yeah, and probably been using those over-the-counter things that he was talking about in that last video too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Manosphere Hall of Fame. Manosphere Hall of Fame said, and then the majority of investors will also miss out and lose all of their money. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The majority will miss out. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Majority is going to look back. They will be way more disgusted in themselves. Facts. Facts. Don't be one of those people, man. Don't be one of those people. Please don't be one of those people. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
And BlackRock has effectively greenlit Bitcoins for the traditional finance world. Think about this. BlackRock's ETFs could control up to 2 million Bitcoin. That's nearly 10% of Bitcoins ever created. And as we seen it before, when a giant moves, the rest of the markets scrambles to keep up. This isn't just about ETFs anymore. It's about reshaping global finance. Here's where things get even more intriguing. We know the US government already holds Bitcoin, around 200,000 from past seizures. China reports suggest that they control at least 190,000 Bitcoin, much of it acquired through similar means.
Oh, man. That's
But what happened?
hilarious. Shout out to TD. TD said, Rob can't wait to trick off 15 Bitcoin on a hairstylist like Simp Bayless. Man, that's hilarious. Oh, man. Ain't nobody definitely getting no 15 Bitcoin. If I'm ever fortunate enough to get 15 Bitcoin, those Bitcoin are never leaving my veins. You know what I'm saying? They're never leaving my veins.
But when these holdings shift from seized asset to strategic reserves, Anthony Scaramucci, a well-known name in finance, recently predicted that if the US openly starts accumulating Bitcoin, China will follow suit. And why wouldn't they? In the geopolitical chess game, missing out on Bitcoin ride is a risk no nations can afford. Now let's consider the domino effects if the US announced.
Now, I want to tell you guys something about the United States, right? And I need you guys to pay very close attention. The United States knows that the citizens are suffering with debt, homeless crisis, 40-year high CPI, inflation, interest rates. If the United States was really about what they say that they're about, not only would the United States be buying a strategic Bitcoin reserve, they would be actively encouraging the American people to actively stockpile Bitcoin. But you notice how that's not being done. If you guys notice that that's not being done, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't notice that that's not being done, give me a thumbs down. This is all good. This is all fine, right? For us, and we know, and that's because we've been doing this way before they started all this hype, right? But if America really cared about America, the best place to stockpile Bitcoin would not be in some cold wallet in Fort Knox somewhere. The best place for a cold wallet to be would be in the struggling families that don't have any money out here. The people that's drowning in debt, mom and pop businesses that's closed and destroyed by C-19 legislation and stuff like that. But they're not encouraging that. They're encouraging, we're going to buy up all the Bitcoin. So just don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? We'll benefit off of this on a proxy, but just understand nobody's doing this with the intent on making anybody rich except for, the allies of the administration and the administration themselves. You know what I'm saying?
A Bitcoin reserve, we could see Bitcoin hit $1 million within a year. Add China and other nations to that mix, and a $2 million Bitcoin isn't far-fetched. But here's the kicker. This might already happening. Think about how governments move assets. They don't buy on public exchanges. They use over-the-counter OTC markets and strategic transactions to avoid spooking the market. If 200,000 Bitcoin moves from one wallet to another, it's nearly impossible to track its true destination. At the state level, the momentum is undeniable. Florida, Texas, Alabama, and other states are exploring Bitcoin reserves to protect against inflation and currency risk. By mid-year, we could see.
Now, again, I want you guys to pay very close attention, right? The government is doing this. The state government, federal government, probably some local governments will do this as well. They're doing this to protect against inflation and doing this to hedge against inflation. No one gets hit by inflation harder than the public sector, harder than the population. America could have a strategic Bitcoin stockpile, strategic Bitcoin reserve within the hands of its citizens, because the citizens ain't going nowhere. Not a lot of people are moving and leaving from the United States. Most people who live in the United States, as much as they talk about it, they love it here. They're not going anywhere else. Nobody's going somewhere with brown water that comes out of a sink and the toilet doesn't flush. Nobody's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a few people might, not the majority. The stockpile of Bitcoin could be held among the people, and it could be encouraged to be held among the people in addition to what the United States starts buying, right? But again, pay very close attention. Notice that's not being done and it's not being encouraged. I want to know why you guys think that might be. Let me know what you guys think.
Up to 18 states holding Bitcoin as part of their strategic financial plans. This isn't theory. These states are drafting legislation, allocating billions, and preparing to integrate Bitcoins into the financial ecosystem. And as more states join, the demand for Bitcoins will only grow, pushing prices higher. And here's the reality check. The amount of Bitcoin available on exchanges is rapidly decreasing. Institutions, governments, and long-term holders are locking it away. For 8 billion people, there simply isn't enough Bitcoins to go around. Scarcity isn't just a buzzword. It's the backbones of Bitcoin's value. Around the world, countries with favorable tax policy like the Czech Republic and Switzerland are reaping the rewards of Bitcoin's adoption. Meanwhile, nations with restrictive regulations are losing out as capital flow to more crypto-friendly jurisdictions. This is a lesson in economic competition. Lower taxes attracts investment and watch your economy grow. The Czech Republic recent move to exempt Bitcoin held for over 3 years from capital gains tax is just the latest example. So what's the big picture? Bitcoin isn't just an investment. It's becoming the foundations of new financial order. Institutions are buying. States are buying. Nations are likely buying. And as the dominoes continue to fall, the windows of opportunities for retail investors narrows.
Retail investors aren't the only people who the window is closing for. Let me ask you guys this question. Who else is the window closing for?
What happens when the US officially announces a Bitcoin reserve? What if China follows? And what if, as Gary Mucci suggests, this trigger a cascade of nations rushing to accumulate Bitcoin? Guys, listen, the next 3 months, January, February, and March, are going to be pivotal. The news cycle will be relentless. The market movements.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why does everybody think that it's likely that the Bitcoin strategic reserve will get done within the first 3 months, that this legislation will get signed? Now, I think a lot of times the hysteria kind of gets to people and people start kind of front running things. People forget there's an entire 4 years of presidency. Trump has 4 years to do this. Now, if the United States is actually planning on starting a Bitcoin strategic reserve, do you think that the United States is going to sabotage itself, make the announcement, jack the price up, and then start buying? Or are they going to be quietly buying and then announce it at the end of the presidency and sign it on the way out? Let me know what you guys think. Facts. Shout out to TD Media Group. TD Media Group says Bitcoin is becoming the foundation of the new financial order. Yeah. I know one thing about the financial order that doesn't seem like it's going to change. I know one thing about the financial order that doesn't seem like it's going to change. You know what I'm saying? Take a wild guess what that might be.
unpredictable and the stakes higher than ever. This is your moment to act, to position yourself before the tidal wave hits. The question is, are you ready? But don't forget to hold tight and stack it right. Take care.
Don't forget to hold it tight and stack it right. Got Satoshis. Got Satoshis. You know what I'm saying? How many Satoshis you got? So check this out, man. There was this tweet that came across on X. All right. See this right here? Somebody named Miss T. I have no idea who this is. The U.S. Department of Justice has just received court approval to sell approximately 69,370 Bitcoins, currently valued at around $6.5 billion, which were seized in connection with the Silk Road darknet marketplace. Remember, Charleston White famously said you can't get putty with Bitcoin. Remember, Charleston White said that. So, you know, the guy who gets on everybody else for giving bad information and not having correct information boldly with his chest out makes a false comment, and it's hilarious. So just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? This decision came despite objections from Battleborn Investments, which claimed ownership through a bankruptcy estate. The DOJ has cited Bitcoin's price volatility as a reason for seeking a quick sale to avoid potential value depreciation. This is completely non-backed in fact right here. This is completely not backed in fact. You know what I'm saying? Who sells Bitcoin? Not only who sells Bitcoin, but who has 69,370 Bitcoin and then sells them. This sale is part of a series of action by the U.S. government to liquidate assets from the now defunct Silk Road, which was a major online black market shutdown by law enforcement in 2013. But remember, the oracle of the black community, Charleston White, said you can't buy putty with Bitcoin. Remember, he said that, right? Well, the DOJ got this Bitcoin here in custody from raids. So again, I just want you to understand how the people that people love, the people that y'all love, the people that y'all know and love, the people that y'all build to like millions of subscribers, they sit there and tell y'all nonsense and y'all eat it up. And then people say, well, we weren't told about anything. I think you guys are asking the wrong people about you being told anything. You're asking the people who you historically believe keep you out of stuff why they're not telling you stuff. Well, we know why those people aren't telling you stuff. I think the people who talk to you are the ones who don't tell you stuff or do tell you stuff. So why doesn't anybody ask those people why they're not told about anything? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Charleston ain't got no sense. Yeah, but it's the double standards. It's the double standards all the time, bro. Everybody will say somebody doesn't have any sense, and then they'll turn around and say, but they got a point though. And then the people that write the books only get 1.5K views on their videos when they post one on YouTube, despite the fact they get quoted all over YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So again, all we got to do is just run down the line and just look at how people choose. And what's interesting is that Kevin Samuels, all the time, he wouldn't have a problem saying it. He would tell women, you chose wrong, right? Now, if we run this down the line, how many times will we look at a situation and be like, well, you chose wrong? You know what I'm saying? The sales timing is notable as it occurs less than 2 weeks before the new administration takes office, which had previously vowed not to sell seized Bitcoin. I mean, to me, like this is just Biden. You know what I'm saying? This is just Biden just, you know, trying to make things difficult for the transition. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the way to go about things. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get rid of the Bitcoin. To me, like if he do something like that, that just shows that for the most part, his time in office, it was all about just trying to sabotage things. It was all just trying to sabotage things. So we're gonna take a look at this article here from FXS. All right, and this is a media outlet here that talks about different assets like gold, foreign exchange, precious metals, and sometimes they dive into cryptocurrency. And they had an interesting article about Bitcoin, and they got another interesting article about XRP. We're gonna take a look at that as well. And shout out to everybody watching. We gotta take a pause from we gotta take a pause for the computer. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button if you haven't. Hit that bell if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You know what I'm saying? Has Bitcoin topped for the cycle? Here's what key metrics suggest. Bitcoin's accumulation trend score dropped to 0.21% or 0.21, suggesting a movement into the distribution stage. Okay. The latest U.S. economic data triggered notable sell-offs in both the stock and crypto markets. Bitcoin's MV-RV ratio indicates that Bitcoin is yet to reach extreme euphoria in the current cycle. Now, let me ask you this. If Bitcoin has yet to reach extreme euphoria in the current cycle, and the price is still slightly below 100,000, when the greed indicator gets into the green and when we get into the euphoria stage, where do you think that's going to take Bitcoin from where it is currently? Let me know what you guys think. Bitcoin experienced a 2% decline on Wednesday as the cryptocurrency market grapples with recent losses. On-chain data has indicated a shift in the accumulation of the leading cryptocurrency, suggesting that holders are increasingly selling their assets. Despite this shift towards distribution, Bitcoin's market value to realized value ratio suggests that the current market cycle has not yet reached its peak. So, if the current market cycle has not yet reached its peak, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let me know in the comment section. Bitcoin declines to $94,000, stirs mixed sentiment among investors. So what this tells you that a lot of these investors, a lot of these new crypto investors, a lot of these guys are scared. A lot of these guys don't really understand crypto. A lot of these guys don't really understand how crypto works. They're using traditional asset models. They're using traditional risk models. They don't understand the historical patterns. They don't understand the reason why many people hold cryptocurrency, and they're trying to force the old paradigms onto the new paradigms. Yeah, shout out to Carlton. That's exactly what that means. Because if it's not at extreme euphoria, then that means that the price isn't the highest and people aren't going to try to cash in, right? When it goes to extreme euphoria and when it goes to extreme greed, that's when people are really going to be trying to cash in. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would disagree, give me a thumbs down. All right. On-chain data from Glassnode revealed that Bitcoin's accumulation trend score dropped to near zero, indicating a shift in the market to the distribution phase. The metric approached a score close to 1 across most cohorts of holders during the rally between November and December, signaling steady accumulation. However, investors across all cohorts have slowly increased distribution in the past few days, with ultra large holders leading the charge. All right, so what they're talking about here is the whale activity. They're talking about the whale activity. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said they're trying to figure out why we get happy when crypto is in the red. Ask the whales. Ask the whales, right? They know why. You know what I'm saying? The selling pressure may have been fueled by headwinds from stronger than expected U.S. ISM Services Purchasing Managers Index and job openings reported by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics for November 2024. Likewise, crypto analyst Marcus Thielen stated in a recent memo that global liquidity shifts could threaten Bitcoin's bullish momentum. Following the Trump election, the strengthening U.S. dollar has tightened dollar-dominated liquidity, signaling the potential for a consolidation phase in the near term. He noted that Bitcoin and risk assets may experience a temporary consolidation caused by the appreciation of the U.S. dollar. Now, every time there's a consolidation, what does that mean? How many people agree that consolidation points should be points to be examined for buying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. This is also visible in the decline across the U.S. stock market, signaling its growing correlation with Bitcoin, okay? Despite the recent sell-side pressure after Bitcoin reached an all-time high above $108,000, the top crypto may still have potential for higher price appreciation before the cycle ends. All right. So as they're talking about these crashes, they keep going back and saying, well, yeah, but, you know, we think it's going to go higher than that. We think it's going to go higher than that. Bitcoin's market value to realized value ratio, which indicates the average profit or loss for all investors, has not yet reached the level of 3.2, which signifies extreme euphoria, according to Glassnode data. For Bitcoin to enter this state of extreme euphoria in the current cycle, it would need to reach a price of $132,000. All right. Bitcoin price has historically spent only 5% of trading days above the 3.2 MVRV level, wrote Glassnode analyst. This highlights how rare such peaks are and reinforces why it's often considered an extreme euphoria zone. Okay, so Bitcoin usually doesn't even hit those ratios. Now, look at this. Ethereum price forecast. Ethereum could decline to $3,111 despite increased accumulation from whales. So we got to ask this question. What's going on with Ethereum? What's going on with all this stuff? We keep hearing about how everybody keeps accumulating it, and the opposite of what should be happening is happening. The price is going down. It doesn't make any sense. You see, hold on. See, hold on real quick. We're about to check this out. I think I was about to say, I hope we can check it out. Let my computer's freezing for a minute here. Let's see, hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's grab this Ethereum article real quick. Yeah, so what's up with Ethereum? Why is the market not moving in a way that makes sense with the buying patterns? Could it be what we were talking about earlier? You guys think that the whales are creating a holograph? Ethereum price forecast. Now, again, this is recent. 1/8/2025. Ethereum forecast. Ethereum could decline to $3,110. So we should mark a price alert for that. We should mark a price alert for that. So if we could catch that, get a little bit, get a nice little gain. Ethereum saw a net selling pressure of over 120,000 ETH, sparked by small-scale whales and short-term holders after the market decline. Large whales have returned to action, weathering the selling pressure by accumulating 210,000 Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum could stretch its decline to $3,110 to hit the target of a rounding top pattern. Ethereum briefly declined below the 3,300 key level, recording a 4% loss on Wednesday as short-term holders led the selling pressure. If buy-side pressure of large whales fails to outweigh the bears, the top altcoin could decline to 3,110. All right, so now I want to tell you guys a little strategy here. Every price level that we talk about, you guys should be marking these price levels in your alerts on your apps. How many of you all do that? If you guys do that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys do not do that, give me a thumbs down. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. We 2 out of 5, man. That's what's good. Throw them targets in the chat. Brooklyn Queen said, supporting the Fortune 1000 organization. All orange everything. Facts. All orange everything. Like Donald Trump's skin. You know what I'm saying? Like Bitcoin and like Carlton's profile circle. Right? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Definitely appreciate you, Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love for funding the organization.
In Springfield,
Don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing and where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he clipped with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And the cat got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Definitely appreciate it, Brooklyn Queen. That is what is good. We only need 3 more, man. That's what's up. Shout out to MC Fact. Yo, check this out. I just thought of another little competition we can have, right? Let's get in let's do another competition of trying to make $10,000 a month based on consolidation buys. How many people down for that? If you guys down for that, throw some flames in the chat. If you're not down for that, then give me a thumbs down. Now, check this out, right? If we make $10,000 a month on each month on consolidation purchases, catching the floor, 10,000 to 12, right? 12 months, that's $120,000. If Bitcoin hits $120,000 by the end of the year, just off of the consolidation contest, we should be able to get a Bitcoin a piece. If on the low side, it's 120,000 by the end of the year. And then that's just something else that we got going on, right? During the time of what else we're doing. So if you can hit that $10,000 consolidation buying on the floor every month, that's 10,000 January, 10,000 February, 10,000 March, 10,000 April, 10,000 June, 10,000 July, August, September, October, November, December. 120,000. Just on buying on the floor. That doesn't even count anything else. That only counts buying on the floor. A lot of different pathways. I'm saying a lot of different pathways. What do you guys think? How many people think, if you think that you can do it, throw them rockets in the chat. I'm about to be on that. Ethereum whales buy the dip as short-term holders spark selling spree. You see that? So you just imagine this, like, to use the analogy, whales, right? So you in the pond, or you in a lake, or you in a ocean, and like a large object falls into the water, right? And you see all the fish, they all run, they all scatter, they run away. But then, like, the big fish and the big animals in the sea, like the octopus and the squid, the kraken, they don't go anywhere. They kind of come and investigate and see what came in. But everybody else runs. That's essentially what's happening here. It's essentially what's happening here. Following Tuesday's general crypto market decline, investors flooded exchanges with a net inflow of nearly 120,000 Ethereum, worth about 400 million per Crypto Quant's data. So again, what I want you guys to understand is that as we read these articles of what's going on during this technical analysis with the market, what you're seeing is that the whale psychology, it's consistent. They're waiting for everybody to freak out, and then once everybody freaks out, they strike. They're waiting for those guys who listen to their wives, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God! Yeah, I just saw a notification on your phone, and it said that the account is down $2,000. What are you doing? Sell! Oh, okay, honey. Okay, honey. I'll sell everything that I've worked for, even though I know in my head I've seen a consistent 30% increase every year. I'm going to do it anyway, just so you shut up, because I'm such a simp and don't have a backbone. I can't even stand on my own 2 feet, despite the fact that I've confidently built all this wealth for us. Then she turned around and leave you, you know what I'm saying, for a CEO somewhere that got the type of money you was just about to get in 6 months had you held your crypto. You know what I'm saying? Now you're sitting around with the tie, you know what I'm saying, untied and wrapped around your neck, with a newspaper sitting outside a store, drinking gas station liquor, taking sips of Orloff. Taking sips of Orloff, you know what I'm saying, with a little shot of Wild Irish Rose in between. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to OG Patrice. What's good with it, OG Patrice? Yeah, man, they be all in your ear telling you to spend all your money or let them spend all the money. And then next thing you know, it's all gone. And then, you know, they don't come back home. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is you. This is all you. And, you know, the same thing go with, you know, same thing go with women. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women that'll let a dude completely crash out their life. Don't do it. I got so many female friends that was like trying to go places with their life, and they got with a dude, and they just let the dude ruin them. You know what I'm saying? They will friend zone somebody who would actually support them, but get with a dude that just ruined everything. I don't understand people, man. Listen, if you in my way, get out of my way. That's how everybody should be. I got a vision. We got the laser eyes going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear none of what you talking about. I already know it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, market fluctuations. Who cares? What we got right now is more than what we had before. And you complaining about the fact that it's a market fluctuation and we got damn near, what, 10 times what we had before? This is why I'm taking care of this. You know what I'm saying? The rule is we're not selling the Bitcoin. That means we ain't selling the Bitcoin. You need me to write it in another language, Braille? You know what I'm saying? You want me to, what do they call that? The SOS? Tap on it, Morse code? What you need? It's not happening. Do not succumb to pressure. Yeah, look. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I think Robb knows he's going to win all these competitions. I'm just kidding. I love the motivation, pushing us all to succeed at all costs. Listen, I have this belief. I have a belief that if we turn anything into a sport, we can dominate at it. Because that's what the evidence shows. So you can't really just tell people, hey, why don't you invest? You got to put an incentive behind it. You got to start tapping into people's opioid, receptors with something other than crack. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get them addicted to the thrill. You got to get them addicted to the fun. Get addicted to scrolling up and down that screen and looking at your shit. That's your scoreboard. That's your scoreboard. Now, when it comes to scoreboards and us, what the history on that look like? So you got to repackage stuff and put it into a package that's easy to digest for the appropriate audience. You know what I'm saying? See, like a lot of these people, they like sitting there, they'll watch the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? They'll watch the 49ers. Nah, man, you need to be watching Team Blacklight versus, you know what I'm saying, MicroStrategies. That's where the real action is at. That's where the real action is at. But again, this just shows the people don't like real action. They get scared with real action. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared of real action. I know for a fact, and I'm competent and confident that my methods work. And I have even more reinforced confidence that my methods work, that my methods that were ignored by a large amount of people are actually being implemented and used in corporate America to be able to make billion-dollar businesses, to be able to get companies into the NASDAQ 100, getting them on the New York Stock Exchange. Now people are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, using physics to discuss, to discuss Bitcoin, which is something I've been doing forever. It works. It's a foolproof formula. And there's now field tests and examples that it works. But what's interesting about it, right, is that people would rather give away their money than reinvest the money into themselves. I put the little goals up, and the goals help, and I appreciate you guys. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all always meet them too, right? But I always try to encourage people to invest in themselves. Not only to invest in yourself, but believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. One thing that this will do that you will get that you won't even realize, this is going to make you extremely attentive to detail, and you're also going to be a lot more regimented. And now you're going to shout out to TD, right? Now you guys are going to start doing your own Doge. You're going to start doing your own Department of Government efficiency and spending. Because now, if you're trying to maximize how much Bitcoin you're trying to accumulate, you're looking at where you can cut off all other costs, streamline your budget, and utilize all the costs that you cut off for accumulating Bitcoin. So it's a lot of stuff that this does that you kind of you don't really realize that you're doing it. You have a bad day in the market and you like, oh man, I want to get some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to drop $150 on Peppy. Let me turn off this extra nonsense that I got over here. Let me just get rid of this little subscription over here on the internet that I'm not using. Makes you start going into your finances and see where stuff is coming out. Let me see if I can find a cheaper car insurance policy so I can buy an extra 50 of Bitcoin every month. Get you on that budget. Get you cheap like me. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do. You want to find out the best ways. You want to find out the most efficient ways. You want to find out the most liquid ways that you can get done what you need to get done. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Net inflows in crypto exchanges significantly fell. I'm sorry. Net inflows in crypto exchanges signify potential selling activity, while vice versa for outflows. Okay. The network realized profit loss metric shows that Ethereum's 12% decline in the past 2 days caused most investors to panic into booking losses worth over 50 million. So again, what I want you guys to pay very close attention to is it's not the assets, it's people's psychology. And as you can see, people's psychology is not always consistent with what's actually going on in the market. It's not always consistent. A lot of times you will read this and then you will see they talk about these indicators, and then next thing you know, the people did the opposite of the indicators. You know what I'm saying? And then they get mad. Oh, I lost all this money. You didn't lose all the money. Here, look at the chart. The chart tells you exactly where the money went. You didn't lose it. What you did was you acted in a suboptimal way. Most of the recent selling activity was triggered by investors holding between 1,000 to 10,000 Ethereum, as indicated by the falling blue line in the chart above. These investors depleted their holdings by 110,000 Ethereum in the past 3 days. Now, another thing that they don't think about is how many of these tokens there actually are. You know what I'm saying? Another thing they don't talk about is how many of these tokens that there actually are. There's a lot more Ethereum tokens than there are Bitcoin tokens. Ethereum is a lot cheaper, and a lot of these people may be way outside the loss ratio and have plenty of Ethereum to sell off, and it won't affect their holdings. This looks like a lot of money for us, but for those people that hold all them Ethereum, it's probably just a small portion. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, John Guillory, man. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show John Guillory some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for John Guillory. John Guillory says, after that great talk, I'm hungry now. Hey, guess what? Here we got cats and dogs on the cheap, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Make sure y'all show John some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat. And throw some targets in the chat, man. We only need 2 more. That's what's good.
In Springfield,
Me ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels.
Have you seen Garfield?
Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is cough it up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. He said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he took with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. corner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat cat.
Drop that cat.
Definitely appreciate you, bro. Definitely appreciate you. We only need 2 more, man. That's what's good. That is what is good. All right. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to think of this like this, right? Like we're talking about the sport of finance, the sport of cryptocurrency, right? The sport. So I want you guys to understand when the whales put up these fake graphs, when the whales do this activity to make it look like something's happening that's not happening, that would be like in football a stutter step, right? In basketball, that's like a pump fake or a crossover, right? In boxing, that's like head movement, right? So what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to counter, and we need to be able to stuff that, all right? So when we're looking at the market and the graph doesn't match sentiment, and when the graph doesn't match demand, those are 2 indicators that these are not natural market renderings on the graph. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. If you, after analysis and discussion, possibly with your colleagues, come to a conclusion that the graphs are not accurate, how do you stuff that? You stuff that by making the whales do the work for you. They push the prices down into your buying zone. Once they've done that, then you swoop in and get everything like a vulture. You take away from what the whales plan on buying. Okay? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And that's why it's so important to catch the floor. The spike across 365 days, 180 days, and 90-day dormant circulation also indicates that short-term holders were at the forefront of the sell-side pressure. Okay? Dormant circulation reveals the total amount of distributed coins previously held for a particular time frame. An increase in this metric signifies distribution, while vice versa for a decline. The high selling activity pressured the derivatives market, where Ethereum led with over 130 million long liquidations. The largest single liquidation order was an ETH US dollar tether position worth about 17.74 million per CoinGlass data. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all think that a lot of these whales, they got a ton of crypto, right? Then they turn around and buy a ton of derivatives betting for and against their own crypto. And then they determine, then they buy it and strike on it based on how they bet it against their own crypto. Because if you're a whale, you know you got enough crypto to make a significant market movement. So why not invest in the crypto and manipulate the price by betting against yourself or betting for yourself when you know the outcome of what's going to happen, or you can influence what's going to happen? How many of you all think that happens? This is one of the reasons why. Like, I would not be surprised if the people with all these long, like, as we're reading this, the people who betted against the liquidations are probably the people that liquidated. They put the bets up to create speculation. People liquidate based on the bets, and then they turn around and buy back their own liquidation at a lower price. This is why it's important to understand how all of this stuff works, because not only is a lot of this stuff quantitative easing, a lot of these financial instruments like derivatives are used to distort the picture of the market. Yeah, it's a win-win. Facts. Shout out to John Guillory. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Yeah, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I'm not sure if there's any rules, any SEC rules against that, but if there are not any rules against that, it's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a win-win. A similar sentiment is visible across Ethereum exchange-traded funds, where investors sold $86.8 million worth of their Ethereum holdings. However, large whales holding between 10,000 and 100,000 Ethereum have pounced on the price dip. See, look, the whales came through there, pounced on it. Large whale, and they acted like these aren't the same people. You know what I'm saying? Like the whales got Ethereum in the exchange traded fund, and they got raw Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain. You know what I'm saying? So they making the assumption that these are different people. These are the same people more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Or colleagues. A similar sentiment is visible across Ethereum exchange traded funds, where investors sold 86.8 million worth of their Ethereum holdings. However, large whales holding between 10,000 to 100,000 Ethereum have pounced on the price dip, buying 210,000 Ethereum in the past 3 days. On the other hand, Ethereum long-term holders still held, refusing to be deterred by the market decline. So again, what this kind of shows is that for the most part, the people that's going to hold the Ethereum, they're holding it. So this is where you need to be diligent and hold it. Okay? CryptoQuant's Wednesday exchange net flows also indicate, look at this, a buy the dip sentiment with nearly 200,000 Ethereum already withdrawn from exchanges in the past few hours. See that? See that? CryptoQuant's Wednesday exchange net flows also indicate a buy the dip sentiment with nearly 20,000 Ethereum already withdrawn from exchanges in the past few hours. Okay. Ethereum price forecast. Ethereum could decline to 3,110 to hit a target of rounding top pattern. Now, again, right, this is a price alert that everybody should put in their phone. Ethereum below 3,100. I would say I would put in Ethereum below 3,200. Okay. Put that price alert in your phone and we'll come back to it when it rings. Right? We'll come back to it when it rings. Somebody let us know in the Discord. I'm gonna try to remember. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna write it down real quick. I'm gonna set a price alert. Ethereum $3,100. All right. Let me just do that real quick. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media. I'm telling you, y'all, we're gonna be on it. Ethereum 3,000. I'm gonna put mine at 3,120. All right. ETH at 3,120. We're gonna observe and watch for those price levels. All right. Ethereum validated a rounding top pattern on Tuesday following a 10% decline that saw its price breaching the $3,300 key level. Okay. The top altcoin is currently attempting to reclaim a key symmetrical triangle pattern. However, it faces major hurdles at the triangle's lower boundary ascending line and the $3,425 resistance, which is strengthened by the 50-day and 100-day simple moving averages. Okay. If Ethereum continues seeing a rejection at this resistance and the support level at 3,216 fails, it could decline towards 3,110, a target obtained by measuring the height of the rounding top and projecting it downward. Okay. The 3,019 and 3,358 range could provide support to prevent further declines, as it represents a historically high demand zone where investors purchased over 10 million Ethereum. Okay. So as you guys can see, they're purchasing on these dips. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said, "What platform are you using for your alerts?" Whichever one I open up. You know what I'm saying? If I happen to be looking on Robinhood, I'll use Robinhood. if I happen to be using crypto.com, I'll use crypto.com. I think I already got some price alerts, some old price alerts set on Coinbase that I actually probably don't want to look at because I'm gonna be like, man, I can't believe this stuff was this low back then. You know what I'm saying? But I use them all though, bro. I use them all. I got I'm telling you, my phone be looking like Las Vegas. People be like, man, this people kind of trying to contact you every day. I'd be like, ain't nobody calling me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't get it. Ain't nobody calling me except for money. That's what's calling me. You know what I'm saying? The relative strength index is below its neutral level, indicating dominant bearish momentum. Meanwhile, the stochastic oscillator is in the oversold region, signaling a recovery is imminent. A daily candlestick close a daily candlestick close below 2,817 will invalidate this thesis. All right, so another number that we got to watch for is 2,817. I would not be happy if I saw that. 2,817. Yeah, I would not be happy if I saw that. I would actually be extremely annoyed. I would be extremely annoyed with that. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said TradingView is fire for alerts, but the free version only has a few at once. Yeah, I would have to buy the real version. What you got? Is that something that you download or like? Is that that's what you use to make your charts on, right? To do your projections. So let me see what else we got. Let's take a look at see what we got. Let's take a look at some of these tweets that Win Loser Rug put into the chat. Make sure y'all show Win Loser Rug some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Win Loser Rug. Some interesting stuff going on out here, man. Interesting stuff going on out here. So let's check this out. Bullish CEO of Sound Planning Group, David Strzelecki, claims Bank of America is doing 100% of its internal transactions on Ripple and have 83 different patents on it. Let me ask you guys this question. What do you all think that this will do for the price of Ripple? Let me know what you guys think this will do for the price of Ripple.
Another one you like is Ripple. You said it is the coin to be looking at right now.
Absolutely.
Why?
Okay, so Ripple actually was the second largest coin prior to the SEC's investigation of them. They did this really weird lawsuit against them. And basically, the Ripple is going to be the track that everything's going to be running on in the future. So they created their own stable coin right now.
Okay.
And Bank of America, like I said, they were doing 100% of their internal transactions. They've got 83 different patents on it. And there's some incredible stuff that's going to be coming out. So
another one you like is Ripple. You said it is the coin to be looking at right now.
Absolutely.
Why?
So now let me ask you guys this question. What's the accumulation goal for Ripple? Yeah, gotta agree with Carlton, gotta agree with John. Facts. It means the price is going up. Now, let me ask you guys this. What's the accumulation goal for Ripple? El Salvador just bought another 11 Bitcoin worth over $1 million to its strategic reserve. I mean, that's good. But, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to hear no story about no damn 11 Bitcoin. Sorry, El Salvador. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to keep pace with MicroStrategies if y'all want to make the news. You know what I'm saying? MicroStrategies to mess around and buy 11,000 just to troll y'all. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to Win Loser Rug, right? Because he posted this tweet in the chat, and this is interesting right here. Senator Dusty Devers introduces Bitcoin Freedom Act to bring Oklahoma's economy into the future. How many people heard about this? If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you did not hear about this, then give me a thumbs down. Yeah, shout out to Carlton. My goal is the same as Bitcoin. Facts. John Guillory says, personally, first target, 1,000. Yeah. All the numbers and all the indicators say a good number of Ripple to have is 1,000. Now, mind you, if I'm able to get 1,000, ain't nobody stopping at 1,000. You know what I'm saying? If I'm able to get 1,000, ain't nobody stopping at 1,000. From what I've heard, as far as price predictions go with Ripple, $15 to $27 by the end of the year guaranteed. So if you got 1,000, that's $27,000. So whatever you pay for $1,000 right now, for the most part, the idea is you're paying whatever you pay for $1,000 right now for $27,000 in the future. You know what I'm saying? Senator Dusty Devers has filed SB 325, the Bitcoin Freedom Act, a bill that would allow Oklahoma employees to opt to receive payment in Bitcoin and enable vendors to accept Bitcoin payments. If I got a paycheck in Bitcoin, I'll never pay a bill again. That's not good for me. I ain't paying. If you paying me in Bitcoin, I ain't paying no bills. In a time when inflation, but again, if you ask me though, this is actually a good thing. And the reason why this is a good thing is because this is what I was talking about putting Bitcoin in people's pockets and making the population the Bitcoin strategic reserve, not just having the government hoard a bunch of Bitcoin and everybody still be broke and people ain't benefiting from it. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but you know, people are too simple to actually pick up on this by themselves. Look at the evidence. Look at the evidence of how simple and stupid people are. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but as much as people complain about the government and about the elites and all of that, most people couldn't survive without them, as much as they claim to hate them. And you could tell that they couldn't survive without them because all they do is complain. All the stuff that they feel is wrong with the world, they don't do anything to get rid of it. And they do everything on their own free will to maintain it. I can't take that serious. This dollar system is so horrible. What you think about Bitcoin? It's a scam. I don't know what to say. How is it a scam? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it a scam? Bitcoin provides unique opportunity to protect earnings and investments, Devers said. As Bitcoin continues to rise and the value of the dollar continues to be printed away in Washington, D.C., Oklahoma must act to protect our people. Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency with a fixed supply, is increasingly seen as a hedge against inflation. Unlike traditional currencies, which can be devalued by monetary policies, as we have seen with the United States dollar in recent years, Bitcoin offers promising alternatives for preserving wealth. Bitcoin is being marketed as a wealth preservation vehicle, which is interesting. Maybe that's why the people who are resistant to it are so resistant to it. Because if you have wealth deficiency, if you are wealth starved, if you don't have any wealth, you really don't understand the necessity of protecting your wealth because you don't have any. So since you don't have any and there's no need to protect it, it doesn't seem like a priority. I don't know what to say. Shout out to John Johnson. Say that again. What do you want me to say again, bro? This last part, that what they had said down here, as Bitcoin continues to rise and the value of the dollar continues to be printed away in Washington, D.C., Oklahoma must act to protect our people. So Oklahoma is actually somewhat doing what I said I didn't think would be a bad idea. They're somewhat trying to put the Bitcoin into the pocket of the people. But the problem that you run into is, where do they think they're going to have enough Bitcoin at to just be paying paychecks all like that? Like, I don't know if they realize what's going on, but you ain't really about to be paying no paychecks all like that with some Bitcoin. It's not enough Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin. Where are they going to get this new Bitcoin at to pay all these paychecks? Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency with a fixed supply, is increasingly seen as a hedge against inflation. Unlike traditional currencies, which can be devalued by monetary policies, as we've seen with the US dollar in recent years, Bitcoin offers a promising alternative for preserving wealth. SB 325 ensures that participation is entirely voluntary, respecting risk-free market principles and empowering employees, employers, and businesses to choose the payment option that works the best for them. There is a reason President Trump campaigned heavily as a pro-Bitcoin candidate and spoke at prominent Bitcoin events. So again, here this is, right? Crypto and politics. But we're just going to act like, we're just going to act like it didn't happen. We're just going to act like it didn't happen. I'm going to read this again. There is a reason President Trump campaigned heavily as a pro-Bitcoin candidate and spoke at prominent Bitcoin events. Bitcoin has arrived into the mainstream of our economy and is unquestionably a significant part of the financial future. Again, we hear this again. TD had said it earlier in the chat from the Got Satoshi's video. Now we have a senator in Oklahoma saying it. Shout out to TD Media Group. TD Media said they are trying to get their paycheck in Bitcoins just like Eric Adams did. Facts. They're trying to pay Bitcoins just like Skip Bayless did. We keep hearing these recurrent themes. People hate. Oh, suki. You know what I'm saying? Deaver said this legislation puts Oklahoma in a leadership role nationally, ensuring our state embraces the future of financial technology while providing our citizens with more financial options. SB 325 is eligible for consideration in the 60th legislative session beginning on February 3rd. All right. So yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. Your boy tired of reading. Your boy is a little bit tired of reading. Not going to lie. So we're going to take a little listen to this podcast for a little bit. All right? Because again, here's my question, right? It seems to me that everything is laid out very clearly. Right? I don't know really where there is any kind of debate. I don't know where there could possibly be any kind of confusion, but it's pretty simple. Everything is pretty laid out. I just don't understand why people see no need to address any of this stuff. It's very bizarre to me. You know what I'm saying? Very bizarre.
Fusion reactor that will run for 1 million years and give you infinite power, from a bottle of water, and I offer it to you, and you're like, no, I'd rather just tax everybody to death. I think that if you're smart, you figure out we'll just take a few of these, and this is how we're going to grow our way out of our problem. And I'm offering you the same thing, a crypto reactor, and I'm saying the solution to our economic problem is harness technology to generate trillions of dollars of economic value a year. The conventional thing that everybody understands is creating $1 trillion worth of new products and services that didn't exist before, right? That's I got to produce more candy bars, more cars, more planes, more trains, more travel, more concerts, more buildings, more houses, more. That's conventional. That's the P&L side. Robots and AI will help with that.
I want to put this in perspective, man. I don't. If the perspective is not gotten after this analogy, what that shows is that there's a incapability of understanding, and we just have to deal with that. If these multi-billion-dollar companies are buying Bitcoin to protect themselves, to secure their wealth, if you don't have some type of protection layer to secure your wealth, what do you think is going to happen to you? Michael Saylor is invested in Bitcoin so that his business is not swept away, so that his business does not get destroyed. This is the person that's buying 15,000 Bitcoin every week. What about you? Literally none of us had a type of equity, debt, wealth, or business value that Michael Saylor has. And Michael Saylor is anchoring his company into a financial future with Bitcoin. If he's doing this to stay anchored, what about you? You think that you could withstand a financial storm better than MicroStrategies could? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said, man, I'm trying to join the call, but it says I can't open StreamYards in the browser. You should be able to. What browser are you trying to use? If I was you, I would copy the link and then put the link into Safari and try it like that. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said he was drinking some Fiji.
But the unconventional, the monetary, the economic side, the very deep paradigm shifting idea is
I want to know how people who don't have any money think that they're going to do better against the economy than a company like MicroStrategies without Bitcoin. That's what I want to know. I see, like, the delusion is thick.
My idea. Eliminate the toxic capital from the civilization that's destroying $10 trillion a year worth of products and services. The average life expectancy of a human was like 30 when we drank dirty water and we had dirty food and we had dirty air and we had dirty blood and we had doctors with dirty instruments and everybody's just dying. And you can't grow your way out of that with a better factory. But if I come along and say, this is clean water, give this to your kids, they won't die. Okay. It's the taking away of the germs from the food and the water that makes you live twice as long. Bitcoin is about taking away the germs, right? The toxins from the capital of the civilization, right? When
what do you think is the most devastatingly okay?
See that example that he just used? That's very similar to what I was saying about how Bitcoin strips away false value and holds it inside of itself. So see, this is what I'm saying. I would say that Michael Saylor got it. And see, Michael Saylor got it, and he's a person that had the means, a company, and shareholders that supported him to where he's able to execute this and create value for the shareholders. Let me ask you guys this question. Can we even say we have any shareholders that are interested in people's own lives? I think that is a small minority. I think a large majority of people, I think a large majority of the simpletons that we deal with, they think of themselves as an extension of their job. That's why they get so offended when they lose a job. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I was going to ask what the most devastatingly bad capital is.
It's just all imperfect, right? Like every hyperinflating economy, go to Africa and ask, why are they poor? They're poor because all the capital is toxic. What about the Weimar Republic? What happens when the capital collapses? Okay, the government collapses. What happens next? Nazi Germany. What happens next? World War II. Okay, 100 million people eventually die, right? So the crumbling capital creates a crumbling civilization. Every single civilization for 10,000 years, everyone in recorded history has as one of its root causes, the capital crumbles, the monetary system collapses, and then what happens is they can't feed everybody. So then what happens is the people complain, so the soldiers kill them. Then what happens? Well, eventually you can't pay the soldiers, and the soldiers mutiny because they're not being paid. And then what happens? The people that pay their soldiers come over your border and defeat you. And then the historians write, oh yeah, the barbarians came and they toppled our civilization due to no fault of our own. But the fault was the capital crumbles.
Agreed, but you're dealing with countries that want control. You've talked about China won't allow you to transact in dollars. A lot of these places want to make sure that you're using their capital. So even if Bitcoin is this perfect system, why won't it hit an immune response from these nations that want control?
They will. Bitcoin's not going to solve the world's problems. What I'm saying is, if I give you clean water, it solves a bunch of problems. If I give you electricity, it solves a bunch of other problems. If I give you clean food, right, healthy food and sterile jars, it solves a bunch of problems. Even in the civilizations you don't agree with, I think you would agree that if we turn off the electricity, they have a problem, right? If I kill the water and the power in New York City, everybody's going to die. It's just that simple, right? I mean, so what I'm proposing is...
Now, speaking of water being shut off, how many people have heard about these water shortages that are happening? There's widespread water shortages that are going on all throughout the United States. If you guys have heard about these widespread water shortages, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, give me a thumbs down. Now, let me ask you this question. If there is a widespread water shortage across the United States, what is that going to do to the price of water? If inflation is already happening, water shortage causes a demand shock, what happens to the price?
We inject digital energy into the civilization. Bitcoin is digital energy. It's digital capital, right? And I'm telling you, I think it's worth $10 trillion. And I'm saying, if you have an economic problem, if you were running a factory and you were in debt, and I came to you in 1900 and you said, well, Mike, what should I do? I'm thinking about cutting the wages of all my employees, making them work twice as hard and whipping them occasionally, and then barking at the customers and denurturing the product, because that's what I need to do to stay in business. What do you think? I would say, well, Tom, I'm an engineer. What I think is I'm really interested by what this Edison guy is doing with electricity. And I think you can rip out the coal powered steam engine in your factory and maybe electrify it. And then I think you ought to look at what Henry Ford did with the assembly line and the internal combustion engine. And maybe instead of whipping the people in your horseless carriage buggy whip factory, and then, and then begging a politician to buy your buggy whips and your horseless carriages, maybe you ought to invent a car, and maybe you ought to do it with electricity. And maybe you ought to use this physics, and then maybe it'll be such a delightful product that, demand for the product will go through the roof. And that's what I think about this. I think that Bitcoin is a digital technology that solves an economic problem that's worth trillions of dollars. I don't think it cures cancer. I don't think it'll stop wars. People had wars after electricity and clean water. I'm just pointing out that Henry VIII dies of gout because he didn't have clean water. And of all the things that Henry VIII would have liked to have bought with all of his power, and he was the most powerful man in the UK, he would have liked that.
AW1, what's good with it, bro?
Right, this thing we take for granted, this thing that makes us go from living 32 years to living 80 years. Clean capital, clean money, digital money, high frequency, programmable money. It is a protocol for prosperity. And I think that if you're looking for
it's a protocol to prosperity. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How could anybody be against that? How can somebody in their right mind be against that? Michael Saylor has applied everything that he believes. His Bitcoin maximum. He's a Bitcoin maximist. He's applied this to his business practice. The results have been, for the most part, unlimited. So we have application examples of this working. I mean, how do you just keep telling people that trust you that this is a scam? Somebody make it make sense. Yeah, facts. Shout out to John Guillory. John Guillory says, keyword, Rob, right mind. Many don't have a right mind. Yeah, many don't have a mind at all. Shout out to Carnivore. Carnivore says Ethereum. I'm down with Ethereum, man. It's gotta do something. Like, come on, Ethereum, show me something. What's your predictions for Ethereum, Carnivore?
For a politically sound strategy, the most politically sound strategy is not to tell people that austerity is the solution or bludgeon them to death. It's just to introduce a new technology that delights and enriches everyone and spreads like wildfire. And I think Bitcoin is spreading like wildfire. Just like if it's a good thing, whether it's the internet or an iPhone or clean water or air conditioning or an automobile, you don't gotta bludgeon people. You don't gotta bark at them. The average person looks and they know why they want to drive in a car or fly in a plane or have air conditioning. I mean, I live in Florida. All of Florida is due to air conditioning, right? The entire state wouldn't be here without electricity and HVAC. And that is my contention with regard to digital capital. I think that the world's full of problems, but half of them are economic problems. And if you want to solve your economic problems, solve it with technology, which is egalitarian, utilitarian, right? That is nonpartisan. Because no one can agree on religion and political issues, but they can all agree that they would like to be more powerful, more prosperous, more comfortable, more capable. And generally, the only countries on earth that are anti-technology don't last long. You know, I remember the Japanese, they denied gunpowder.
All right, Lewis, take it easy, bro.
The Chinese tried to keep guns out of China. That didn't work well either. I mean, eventually, you know, technology is coming to your shores. And if you resist it, you know, your government's going to collapse and your ideology is going to collapse. So I think this is a very straightforward, practical approach to making the world a better place.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think it will be adopted as such. So it'll be interesting to see the war of the powers with different countries taking different approaches. I'm certainly encouraged by Japan. Seems like they're contemplating having a strategic reserve of Bitcoin. That's amazing, especially given the economic troubles that they're having. But here in the US, what do you think about David Sachs? Is he going to be somebody that's in the president's ear, that's pushing this agenda? Have you heard him talk about this issue?
Now, I think that's the perfect place to check this article out right here. All right, because there's a couple Pew Research studies that we need to take looks at. All right, and these Pew Research studies talk about people's tendencies. All right, these Pew Research studies talk about people's tendencies. Now, check this out. 46% of cryptocurrency investors in the US say that crypto didn't perform well. Now, if you ask me, I don't know how anybody could justifiably say that. Unless you're just stuck somewhere where there's absolutely zero growth. Okay? But yeah, that's what people are saying. %46 of Americans who have invested in cryptocurrency say it's done worse than expected. I don't believe this. Now, mind you, I don't have anything to supplement it with and say that's not true. But just from looking at the historical charts, it's hard for me to believe that many Americans who have invested in cryptocurrency say it's done worse than expected. Now, these are Americans who have invested in cryptocurrency. This could be somebody that just bought Cash App off of dollar or just bought Bitcoin off of Cash App. There's not really anything that is telling us who these particular people are. And it doesn't say consistent cryptocurrency investors. It says Americans who have invested in cryptocurrency. Now, and this tells you everything you need to know here. Look on the side. Most Americans haven't used ChatGPT. Few think it will have a major impact on their job. Are they serious? You don't think that artificial intelligence that literally answers every question is going to have a major impact on your job? ChatGPT is going to take your job. It's going to eliminate your job. Somebody make it make sense. The turmoil in cryptocurrency markets has taken a toll on investments. Now, mind you, this is a article from August 23rd of 2022. All right. So just bear that in mind as we read this. August 23rd, 2022. Boom. Okay. The turmoil in cryptocurrency markets has taken a toll on investments. Among the 16% of U.S. adults who say they have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin or Ether, 46% report their investments have done worse than they expected, according to a new Pew Research Center. So what I need to do is I need to see that investment. I need to see when they bought it, when they sold it, and everything that went on in between before I believe what they said. Okay. By comparison, 15% of these Americans say their investments have done better than expected. 31% said they worked out about the same as expected, and another 8% said that they're not sure. I don't know how you wouldn't be sure, but okay. The survey, which was conducted July 15th through 17th of 2022, shows that the overall share of U.S. adults who have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency, also refers to as crypto users in this analysis, is unchanged since September of 2021. And again, I don't know if I believe that or not. And of course, my computer froze. There we go. We back. The survey, which was conducted July 5th through 17th of 2022, shows that the overall share of adults who have ever traded or who have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency, also referred to as crypto users, is unchanged since 2021. This lack of overall change comes despite strong attention to crypto in the news. I don't know, but let me ask you guys this. What's strong attention to crypto in the news? Who's talking about crypto in the news all like that? Shout out to Windows Road. You shouldn't have to download an app, bro. Are you downloading a browser app or something? You should be able to go right into the browser. You downloading the StreamYards app? I'll be forgetting they got that. I'll be forgetting they got that. Somebody said that they had it. I guess you could do like drops from there too or something. So now here it says, among the 16% of Americans who say they have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency, about 3/4 say a major or minor reason is that they want a different way to invest or that it is a good way to make money. Some 54% say at least a minor reason is that they'll think crypto is easier to get into than other ways to invest. Smaller shares cite being more confident in cryptocurrencies than other investments, 39%, and wanting to be a part of a community, 33%, as the least minor reason for investing. Okay. Certain groups are particularly likely to say they have used cryptocurrency. Okay. As the center found in the 2021 survey, men ages 18 through 29 stand out for saying that they have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin or Ether. About 4 in 10 men ages 18 through 29, 42% have used cryptocurrencies, compared with 17% of women in that age range. Overall, men are 14 percentage points more likely than women to say they have used cryptocurrencies, and adults under age 50 are more likely than those 50 and older to be crypto users. They are also different by race and ethnicity. About 1 in 5 Black, Hispanic, or Asian Americans say they have ever invested in, traded, or used a cryptocurrency, compared with 13% of white Americans who say the same. So if 1 in 5, so 1 in 5 is actually, what is that? That's 20%, right? So then they got they got 1 in 5 Black, Hispanic, or Asian Americans. So they got Black, Hispanic, and Asian people all lumped into the same category compared against white people. Okay. So they don't do individual comparisons. When it comes to white people are white people. They have their own identity, and everybody else is just a cultureless blob, according to them. So just as long as everybody's clear on that. While relatively few Americans overall say they have ever invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrencies, the vast majority of Americans have heard about them. Roughly 9 in 10 Americans say they have at least heard a little about cryptocurrencies, including 26% who have heard a lot. So then they go on and talk about NFTs. All right. I don't think we really need to talk about the NFTs. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. What do you guys think about all that? I think it's pretty interesting. And honestly, I'm really glad that we're getting all of this stuff into perspective, getting it all out on video. So when the false narratives come, we got all the rebuttals already up. We got everything all taken care of. All the bullseyes already hit. All the targets already hit. We don't have to go into any long, drawn-out debates. None of that. We just got to ask the question, why are people so wealth resistant? Why are they so wealth resistant? So, shout out to everybody. I think I'm going to end it here. You know what I'm saying? Because your boy's getting kind of tired, and I got some stuff to do, so I want to get that done before I go to sleep. Shout out to y'all. We got 3 out of 5. Now, the timer was set for 3 hours, right? We got 3 out of 5 in just under 2 hours. So guess what? Y'all hit the goal again. So shout out to y'all, right? Because if we got 3, right? We got 3 out of 5, right? So basically that means that we got about 1 per hour. Actually, we got like 1.5 per hour, right? So at a pace of 1.5 per hour, had we went another hour, we would have got what we needed, right? So we got the goal. So shout out to y'all, man. Throw the target in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know this feeding the liquidity. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know it's feeding the organization. I'm going to try to go live again tomorrow and finish some of this stuff up. I'm going to use the same thumbnail. I'm going to try to go live a little bit earlier, and I'm going to make that other one call in as well. I'm going to get them call-ins down to 0. I don't like Owen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get the call-ins down to 0. So I'm going to do another call-in. It's going to be in the, I don't know, maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, maybe we'll see. All right. And we're going to finish talking about this stuff. We're going to look at some more price predictions. We're going to set some more alerts. We're going to look at some more floors. We're going to check out some more trends. All right. Shout out to the people that contributed to the stream. Make sure y'all show them some love because they met the goal. All right. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Make sure y'all show Lloyd Sky 9 some love. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Shout out to my man, John Guillory. Make sure y'all show John Guillory some love. Definitely appreciate y'all. We will be back tomorrow. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, hey, okay, I'm fresh up out the package. Sign my deal, I pay my dues. Affiliated to this paper, I need freedom for my family line. Draw my life design up like fine art. I'm jumping off just an unfamiliar coordinates. Hopped off the porch like I could touch the sky. Red is not one trill. The ism talk the water out your faucet. Look at me flossing, I'm so wavy I could change the tide. My intuition sense the hatred in your ways. You imitated forging lines, claim meaning means that's just to justify. Yeah, right. West side boy, maritime. Creole baby, my bloodline. My lungs clouded, my thoughts crowded. Say all I see is these dollar signs. Finna make a play and that sound delay. On mamas, I testify. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Game recognized game. I'm from the Bay, okay, I'm versatile and my slang was different. I'm lane switching with the same people that I came up in this thing with. My head swivel, I'm homebound, got a target back on my backside. The cat peeling with the cast iron, better run for it, run before I catch you. Niggas out ball it, block it, trying to stop my blessing. Gamble with your life, don't bet it, don't bet it. They can't stop my blessing. You do best not to test it. yeah, you right. Real all in my blood supply. Take it ball up top, finna make a play. I cast a lob like I'm Jalen, baby. No co-signing, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission, it's a dollar sign. If I say it twice, then I meant it right.
My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission, it's a dollar sign. You know, co-signing, no co-pilot. They pen pals, my flow designer. My brain signal out of range with it. My palm mission, it's a dollar sign.
Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds. Run for it, run for it, run. I'm out here paper chasing, looking for the funds.